Alright, so here, this first video, we're going to talk about graphing trig functions, and we're going to recall a couple things. First of all, we've got to know the graph of sine and cosine. These are things you just kind of got to have memorized, and we covered this in an earlier video. Here's the graph of sine, and here's the graph of cosine. Alright, second thing is just remember back from our study of functions. We know the graph of y equal f of x, or y equals x squared, is this right here. If this is f of x, then f of x minus 2 is x minus 2 quantity squared. What does this do to this graph? Well, this is going to shift this graph to the right 2 units. Remember that? If this was x plus 2, it would move it to the left 2 units. Now, why do I say that? Well, this is the graph of sine x. This is our function, sine x. This we can think of as f of x minus pi over 2. Yeah, just like we did there. So this part here, all this is going to do is it's going to take the graph of sine x and it's going to move it to the right by pi over 2. So it's going to take this graph and it's going to shift it to the right. Here's our pi over 2. It's going to take the whole thing and move it over this much. So this goes over here, this goes over here. So we just take the whole thing and move it over 2 units. So all I'm going to do right now is just worry about the graph of this, then we'll worry about the 2. So when I shift this whole thing over 2 units, this goes over, shift it over to the right by pi over 2. This goes over to here. This goes over to here. This goes over to here. Yeah? And we end up with this. And this, this is still the same, this is still my height of 1 and negative 1. That part there didn't change. I just moved the whole graph over to the right. So this, when I move that over, that's pi over 2. When I move that over, that's at pi. This is 3 pi over 2. And this part here, when we move this here, that gets shifted over to 2 pi, this point here. So this is what we get. It just shifts this graph to the right by pi over 2. Now what does the 2 do? It multiplies every one of these values by 2. So at this point here, the value is 1. When I multiply that, it takes us up to 2. Similarly, right here and right here, our value is negative 1. When I multiply that by 2, it takes it down to negative 2. So the graph of this is therefore going to be the same thing here. It's going to still cross here. It's going to cross here. It's going to cross here. All that's going to be the same. Yeah? What's different is the height. So it's going to take this and it's going to go, this is going to go up to 2, down to negative 2, and so on and so forth. Yeah. So this purple graph is the graph of this function right here. So we'll do another example using cosine in the next video.